The DJI Phantom 3 was a total game changer when it came out more than a decade ago. It brought aerial photography to the masses. And for fishermen like us, it opened up a whole new way to get our baits out past those breakers. But technology moves fast, right? So the question is this ancient drone that has been shelved for over a year somewhere in the back of our caravan still useful in 2025? Can we still catch a fish with it? Does it still work? So today we're dusting off the old workhorse here to see if it's still a good budget option or if it's just an old piece of history these days. This is going to be interesting because this didn't go smooth. We have a lot of bust ups today. We almost lost the drone as well. So let's see what happened. Let's go. All right, Haitian, you little pack horse, are you ready?
Yeah.
So we're currently at one of our favorite surf casting beaches in Canterbury. And after a short walk down to the beach, we found the perfect spot to set up for the day. The conditions are looking absolutely fantastic. Now let's see if the gear agrees with us as well. All right, we arrived at our fishing spot. What a beauty of a place that is. We're going to be testing our DJI Phantom 3 today, if it still flies in 2025. The first time now that I've got it out since over a year, since ever I got my Aero Pro drone. Here, let's see if it still works. Is it still an option for fishing? We got currently the incoming tide. The sun is a little bit high, but we also got the best bite times predicted as always on fishingreminder.com. Check it out, guys, if you want to check the bite times. Now, as you can see, our Phantom 3 carry box here has gotten a little bit of damage over the years. I've been using this drone for so long. The zippers, they have broken, so in order to carry the drone, I have to put a little bit of a strap around it. Gives it a little bit of an extra character, right? And here she is, our Phantom 3 drone. I already put one of the new batteries in there that I bought and did the update, the firmware update. I've got my release here on the bottom. This is the forward-facing hook that I've been using for years, and the good old controller. I also bought a set of new propellers, so I wonder if they will work. I had some problem with previously when I bought some propellers off Trade Me, specifically for this drone, and they did not work. Compared to the Aero Pro drone, of course, you always have to attach the propellers first, which is a bit of a pain in the bum to do. On the Aero and more modern drones, you just unfold the propellers and off you go. We got black and silver propellers. Each one screws on in a different direction, counterclockwise, and the silver one's clockwise. But that's pretty much it. We're ready to go. Now, if you've been watching our previous videos about fishing with the Phantom 3 drone, then you know that I have been favoring the tension release made out of a simple cloth pack. That's been working really good for me. I just attach that to the drone. Just loops around my footer here, my foot that I made. And there we go. Our release is all set up. Clip my sinker in here with a little bit of a mono low loop. When I want to release the drone, I just close the bail arm and it will just release because of the small tension of that cloth pack. For bait, I'm just going to be using a little bit of squid today. Also, I have some paddle crabs. They've been in the freezer for a little bit too long, so I don't know if they still work. Let's start with putting some squid on the hooks. As usual with my drone fishing, I just use a standard 2-hook dropper rig, and that's already set up on the Surfcaster, so I just attach the bait and then we'll see if the drone will still fly our bait out or if it's going to be the last time that we've seen our Phantom 3 today. Got my sand sinker here with the wires. It's called a breakaway sinker because those wires, when you start reeling in, they will break away and you can reel it in. Otherwise, it sort of anchors in the sand. Then I just got a little swivel with a clip on it, and in that clip I attach my ring here made out of 200-pound mono line, and this will just clip into the cloth pack. I need a thick mono line so that the cloth pack will hold it, but it's also not too thick so that it can release easily, right? It should just hold the weight of the sinker and of my hooks. Next up, I just got one dropper here tied on with a 5-barrel hook, circle hook, because you don't want to gut hook fish so much, and a second hook 30 centimeters further up. And then that just goes to my main line. Now let's put on those squid. 2 small pieces of squid here. Let's give it just a few little wraps with bait elastic just so we don't lose it. For a little bit of peace of mind. You don't really want to overdo it with bait elastic. It's easy to overdo it. But then the bait doesn't look natural anymore, and also you reduce your hookup rate if you have too much bait elastic on there, I feel. just enough to hold it on. Now if you're surf casting, it's a different story. You're gonna have to use a bit more bait elastic because you put a lot of force on your cast. Baits tend to fall off much easier. But with drone fishing, the only force you get is when the bait falls into the water, basically hits the water. That's the only bit where it might fall off. All right, everybody, we're baited up. Now let's see if we can fly our drone out. Now a little bit of a disadvantage with the DJI Phantom is the controller setup. Compared to the Aero drone or other drones where you connect your phone directly via USB-C cable to the controller, with the old Phantom 3 drone, we can only connect our phone via Wi-Fi to this controller, which is a bit of a pain in the bum because the Wi-Fi connection is not quite as stable as just the wired connection, right? The other thing is that the original controller comes with this little thing here, and it's got a clamp on where you clamp your phone on, and it's really wobbly, especially if you got a bigger phone. To circumvent that, I just glued on a little bit of Velcro on the controller and another Velcro strip on the back of my phone case, so I can attach my phone like so. Essentially, I can put my phone on the controller like a more modern way, fly the drone out this way. So that Velcro strip is not too bad. So let's get the thing started. First we got to switch on the controller. Oops, so it's sort of adjusting its camera, gimbal and everything. The Phantom 3 has a surprisingly good gimbal. This drone was released in 2013, more than 10 years ago. The camera is actually still pretty good, even though I think it's only a 1K camera, but it does good footage and it's very stable with the gimbal. DJI is well known for their gimbals and for their stability. What I also like about the Phantom is that it's got these big foots on each side. All the electronics and everything is well above the sand if you just put it down on the sand. A slight disadvantage is that the battery slides in from the back compared to the Aero drone where the battery is sitting up from the top. So I have never had problems with it, but potentially there could be a connection problem if the battery is a bit loose, that you lose power to the drone. Whilst if the battery is sitting from the top, you got a more sturdy connection, right? But like I said, I've never had any problems with it. But it could potentially be an issue. In order to fly our drone, we have to first connect it to the Wi-Fi network. Once you turn everything on, you get the DJI Wi-Fi network. Got to make sure that the phone is connected to that network. It's usually called just Phantom. So we're connected, and then you also need the DJI app to fly the drone. I'm using an Android phone. For some reason, DJI doesn't have the app in the Android store. And the Google or in the Android store, they don't allow DJI to publish their app. So you have to go to the DJI website and download the app from there. I was a bit worried because they announced a little while ago that they don't support this drone anymore and that maybe they don't update the app anymore and it won't run on modern mobile devices. But just before we came down here, I downloaded the latest update and installed that, and it's running. There are different DJI apps, DJI Fly, DJI Go, and for the older drones like the Phantom, you have to download the DJI Go app. Once everything is turned on, it will automatically connect to the Wi-Fi and show you your Phantom drone. So I've got the Phantom 3 standard drone. I just click on camera and I got my screen here. Now it doesn't ask me to calibrate or anything, so we'll just see how it goes without calibration. Now let's just see if the drone flies before we attach our bait. Is it stable? Oh, it flies pretty interesting. Look at that. It has an interesting fly to it. You know what it reminds me of? It flies a little bit like a car that is misfiring. It goes. So it does fly a little bit weird. Whoop. All right, so it does not have any downward sensors. I forgot about that. So when you bring it down, you can't just pull the trigger down like on the modern drones and it will sense the ground and fly down slowly. You just have to bring it down slowly yourself. Now it flies really weird, hey, like that. And I don't know if that's because of the propellers, because last time I bought new propellers, it didn't fly at all with the new ones. So let me just try to put the old propellers back on and see if it flies better. Okay, so I just put on the old propellers. They have seen a little bit of damage. They're not really damaged, but what I notice about these old propellers is that the plastic, that's the original propellers. Those are the original propellers that came with the DJI. What I notice here is that the plastic is a little bit softer than the new ones. They're a little bit more bendy, so I don't know. It's the second time that I bought new propellers. The first ones, they were completely unusable. The drone was just jolting up and down and couldn't fly. These ones here, I bought them together with a battery from AliExpress with the new batteries. It flies, but it's weird. So let's try the old ones. Yep, and that works much better. What a difference. Can you see that? It just sits there and hovers normally like it should. It is really frustrating. It is almost impossible to get new propellers for this drone that actually work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let's bring her down. So yeah, that is kind of interesting. The old propellers work and the new propellers don't work. And I don't know what's going on there, because the new propellers, they're all made for the DJI Phantom 3. I don't know what to do if I ever need new propellers. Maybe I have to go to the DJI store directly and see if I can get original propellers for it also. I don't know what's going on. Now, one thing here, this is the DJI Phantom 3 standard compared to the Aero Pro drone, which has an immense transmission range of almost 10 kilometers. This one has only a transmission distance of 500 meters. It is okay for flying it out on the beaches here and stuff. We normally don't go more than 300 meters, 300 to 400 meters. And that seems to work well with the transmission distance. And of course, it's got return to home, auto, and all this kind of stuff built in. GPS, if it loses connection, it will just come back home, at least in theory. Yeah, so, but compared to the modern drones, you got like a very small transmission range only. If you buy the Phantom 3 Advanced, I think you get a kilometer transmission distance. They got some upgraded antennas on that one. All right, so here we got our ring out of this 200-pound mono that I mentioned, and we just need to clip that into our cloth pack. The drone will fly forward. It's got a bit of momentum, and if I close my bail arm, I fly it out with open bail arm. If I close the bail arm, we get a bit of tension and it just clips out, and we drop our sinker and our baits. Let's go. Bail arm is open. Drone is starting. Oh, that was not good. Oh, up, it's not happy. It's not happy. Ah, okay. Now we got scent in the propellers.
Why did that happen?
The problem with the Phantom 3 controllers is that they click in on the bottom and then they hold there. Well, this one normally doesn't. This one is for up and down, but for some reason this one got stuck here, the right controller for flying backwards. And as I was trying to fly the drone up, the backwards controller was stuck on the bottom, so it was trying to fly up and backwards at the same time and buried itself straight into the sand. It's not the first time this drone has dug itself into the sand, so they're surprisingly sturdy, those drones. They can survive quite a bit of abuse. I just hope there's no bigger sand grain in there, and while the drone is flying it will jam up the motor. That is a bit of the biggest worry. Stupid mistake, not checking the controller properly. That propeller is definitely moving slower now here, but maybe it's just because of the angle. We'll see. It flies. It took a little while for it to stabilize. It seems to be sitting all right now. All right, so hopefully it's not the last time we've seen the drone. And I don't even have my phone attached at the moment, so I don't even know what's going on here. So you can even fly it without your phone, just by eyesight. Okay, so yeah, we got our image and everything, so everything looks okay now. It's sitting very stable. We got our height at 17 meters only. I will try a drop at, let's say, where's the drone?
Abby mode.
Up compass arrow now. Okay. All right, so we managed to drop the bait. I couldn't see without my glasses what the distance was here, but it gave me a compass arrow out there and it switched to manual mode. I'm guessing we're about 250 meters out now. That happens quite often with this Phantom 3. It just flies all over the place. That compass arrow mode, and you can hardly control it. So I'm not doing anything, it's just drifting all over the place, which makes it quite difficult to bring back. Oh, no, it's flying on its own. Oh,
Oh my god.
it's flying all over the place at the moment. I was trying to bring it down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Just trying to. All right. Well, it smashed the cloth pack. I just couldn't land it, guys. I was just flying all over the place. That happened to me before with this Phantom. So it's second time now I got sent in the propellers. And our cloth pack is gone. All right, let's clean up the rubbish here. A couple of pieces of cloth pack. We don't want to leave. I turned it off now, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There's another piece, must have flown somewhere. All right, what a bust up with the drone here today. It is a bit of a difference flying the Phantom 3 compared to our aero drone, and I had completely forgotten what kind of hassle it is with the Phantom 3. Because when I was using it regularly, you know, I got used to it. When you get used to something, then it's, you know, you kind of accept all the little bit of the weaknesses and you find workarounds to do things. Oh, there's another piece of cloth pack. But now that I haven't used it for such a long time, for 1.5 years, and now it's the first time, I kind of completely forgot about all the little quirks. Yeah, the propellers are very strong in the motors. They can chop your rod in half if you accidentally fly it into it. That's why I was really worried when I was bringing it down here. I wanted to get it down as quickly as possible because it just goes really fast left and right. You can't really control it, and if you accidentally fly it into your rod, if that happens, if it's out of control, it will just chop it into half. We gotta have to watch our rod now. At least we got our baits out one time. See if we can catch a fish at least.
Oh, she's still alive.
Yep, she's still on. I just put her there now.
Scared it's gonna be all of a sudden crazy.
Well, this is not gonna start on her own, but
Monster creature.
oh, there's a bite. Oh, yeah. I think it came off maybe. Hopefully it's a gurnard, carway or rig or elephant fish is what we're hoping for. This place has lots of rig in there and they kind of like, hopefully it's not a, what's it called, a grey boy. No fight there. Or what have we got ourselves onto today? Is that gonna be another bust up with seaweed? Well, there was definitely a bite, but I think we got some seaweed on now. There's a fish on. That's a grey boy, yeah. Or is it a spiny duck? It's a spiny duck, but he's got the spines here. Now I don't know why this guy felt so heavy. Despite the circle hook, it kind of swallowed the hook a little bit deep and now we lost the hook. Let's give it another try and see what happens if I calibrate it now first. See if we can fly it more stable. All right, so I cleaned it out, I turned it on and it says PGPS, which means the GPS is ready to fly. So it's got like the GPS mode and it's got the altitude mode or something, and that's when it goes to manual. And as soon as it has a problem with the GPS, it switches to its manual mode and then there is no stability on that drone at all. It will just drift with the wind and fly wherever, right? So you can't bring it down anymore because it will just sort of fly all over the place, and if you try to bring it down to the ground, it won't stop. It will just fly with speed until it basically hits the ground. So we got the GPS set, but we're going to try to calibrate one time. So we got like a calibration option in here. I found the calibration option. There's still a calibrate option, calibrate compass. So let's give that a go. In order to calibrate it, you're just going to turn it, same like the aero drone, this way and that way. Whoop. Until you're a bit dizzy, and then it will say it's calibrated. Now we calibrated one time, let's see if we can fly it.
The whole point is takeoff.
Alright, so now it's somehow sitting again properly. If I let go, it doesn't do anything, it just hovers, so that's what we want really. And then we can just bring it down normally, right? Oops, a little bit too fast. Alright, so I managed to rescue the trace. I didn't have to tie on a whole new trace. I just managed to tie on another hook onto the broken loop. Yeah, no more cloth pack, unfortunately. So now we're gonna have to do something really risky. We're gonna have to use the forward-facing hook and put our sinker over that, fly the drone out. And when we want to drop the bait, we just have to turn the drone 180 degrees, fly a little bit backward, and we'll just slide off that hook, right? That's the method I used to use initially, and that led me to losing one drone, because when the line gets stuck in the water or your reel jams up, then you take a real risk. The line will drag your drone down because it can't rip off, right? It will just be hanging here, especially if you fly the drone really fast and suddenly something jerks back on the drone or jams the drone. It will just drag the drone down and crash it. So yep, we're taking a little bit of a risk here, so let's go. If we get a bit of a problem with the drone this time, with the compass out there, we might have a problem.
Bye-bye.
I think we can manage. Let's hope that the DJI gods will be somewhat merciful to us today, and not that we've seen the drone the last time. So the drone is ready to fly, and I haven't seen the distance is down here. So that is distance 6 meters and height. So earlier I couldn't actually see the distance properly. Let's aim for 200 meters.
The whole point is take off.
Up. Up. It's already dropped. Went a little bit backwards again, so let's get that in. Back in. All right, so the bail arm is open. The drone is flying, so. Oh, it already came off. I think I didn't fly fast enough. I will have to give it another try. Reel in, please. Alrighty, so that was a failure. We managed to drop only about 20 meters out there, and the line just came off. Maybe I was a little bit too careful and didn't fly the drone out fast enough. So this time I'm gonna go full speed forward with the drone until I wanna drop it. 200 meters full speed forward to have enough tension, right? There's no chance that it's gonna come off forward. Okay, let's go full speed. No, it dropped again, just here at, what's that, not even 30 meters. My forward facing hook is not working anymore. What is going on? It used to work, but I'm using a nail now. Maybe the nail is too slippery for that. The ring is too loose, maybe. Maybe I just put it into the swivel this time. And instead of hanging that mono ring over the forward facing hook, I'll just put the little swivel that has a smaller hole, and that should be less likely to come off. That is going to be the third attempt now. At least the drone is flying stable. We haven't got any problems with the GPS right now, so that's a good sign. All right, so I used the eye of the three-way swivel now, and that hopefully is not going to slide off so easily. We only got 46% left on the battery. Let's hope we get there. So we're out there 300 meters. All right, let's turn the drone around and fly backwards. Yep, I think we dropped. Success. Success this time. So get the drone back, and it looks like we have no GPS error this time either. Woohoo! Go Phantom 3. Look at that, she's coming back, sweet ass. She flies stable as I can even land her. Oh yeah. Well, that's how we used to use our drone. Maybe the calibration was the trick this time, I don't know, but previously, even with calibration, we couldn't get this GPS to be stable. It just sometimes cut out completely from this drone. It often happens on those dark sandy beaches because there's a bit of metal in there in the sand, and that kind of interferes with the magnetic field on these older drones. The Aero Pro and newer DJI drones, they don't seem to have problems with that, but yeah, this particular drone, I think this is the compass here, and this is just like a little bit of a wire sticking out on each side here on the legs, and maybe that gets corroded a little bit or something, I don't know, but from what I know, and that seems to be the component that makes the issues. Despite the drone falling over twice, landing in the sand, burying itself into the sand, getting sand into the propellers and everything, it's still flying the trusty old Phantom 3. So it is a pretty robust drone. Still, even after all these years, the stability and everything works quite good. We went through one whole battery now mucking around with the drone. We only got 2 drops out of this battery because of all the mucking around. Normally you would get about 4, maybe 5 drops out of it at this distance. Surprisingly, after the drone went upside down in the sand and I tried to put it back upright, it didn't turn itself off. So most modern drones have a feature where when they go upside down, they'll turn off the motors. But this drone just keeps going. Either have to hope that the controller will work or you have to just manually remove the battery as opposed to get it to turn off if it doesn't want to, if something like this happens. Compared to flying the Aero Pro drone, which just works straight out of the box, you just set it up and you fly it and it works. This drone requires a lot more technical knowledge, I would say. So is it a good purchase option? I don't know. Spiny duck. At this time he is hooked in the corner of its mouth, so it's easier to get the hook out. Ah, no. Yeah. Water in my boots now too. Let's do one more cast with paddle crabs. Could have had some fish juice in there or something, I don't know. Do the old trick with the rubber band, and then we just put the hook through the rubber band. They don't look very tasty. I think they've been sitting in the fridge for too long. Huh?
I think to catch a big shark with it.
Another thing about this DJI drone is once you turn it on, it always takes like forever to warm up. You get the message aircraft warming up on the screen, and that takes quite a while, about 30 seconds or so for it to warm up. Okay, we're ready to fly again once more.
The home point has been updated. Take off.
GPS is working. I'll bring the camera all the way down so I can see the bait hanging on the hook. Now the camera points straight at the hook. So when I'm flying the drone, I can see the hook, and when I turn it around, I can see that the bait has dropped. Maybe 300 meters was too far. Maybe we'll try a little bit closer in. We will try like 250 meters this time. Luckily there's no wind today. 200, 250. I will turn around, face the beach. And that fell down, yep. Compared to the other drones, like when you fly the drone really fast forward and then you let go of the forward controller, it doesn't come to a halt straight away like other drones. It just overflies like a little bit, right? It's a bit more like a sort of a race car. You fly it and sort of you stop, and then you have to pull backwards on the controller sort of to make it go back, sort of thing. It's actually quite fun to fly because it's like so rough in its controls compared to the modern ones. You definitely need a little bit of experience with drone flying to control this beast properly. But I mean, it's easier to land with your hand because you can grab it by the foot, but you don't want to do it when the drone is out of control and not in GPS stable mode, because then you might hurt yourself badly. Everything about this drone is just holding together with straps and things like that. So it is definitely a bit of a zombie drone. Carry box for this drone is very big and cumbersome as well compared to the Aero drone. In terms of size, it's almost the same size and weight like the Phantom, but because it's packs down much narrower, it's much easier to transport and also to store away. Our misfortune with the cloth pack earlier, I attached a new cloth pack. So with the cloth pack it's pretty easy because I can just hover the drone and then just clip that. Make sure I don't hook myself when I do that. Now let's get her out. This time it should be a lot smoother. Now it does that. That always does that. It says maximum flight distance reached at 50 meters. So it switched itself to beginner mode. It just stops there. We had that so many times with this drone before as well. That's another thing that is really annoying. Then we have to bring the drone back with the bait and everything and turn it off, turn it on again, everything to get it out of this beginner mode. Then it will fly more than 50 meters. Another real disadvantage with the Phantom 3. Yeah, we forgot about that. We used to always just bring it up and do one test fly and see if it flies more than 50 meters and only then do actually attach the bait. This time we forgot to do that and it just stops there at 50 meters. There's nothing I can do about it now. Actually, didn't I find out last time that if I turn off the controller mid-flight and then turn it on again, it works? Let's try that. I just disconnect the controller one time. Now I just turned on the controller again. Up, now we can't...
Is it crazy now?
Huh?
Oh,
No, it's not. No, it's not crazy. It was crazy for a moment. I was trying to return home or something. But now I turned on the controller and now it's connected again. I turned off the controller, the phone disconnected. I thought I can reset the drone mid-flight. Then the phone didn't connect again after I turned on the controller and the drone was about to fly up over the hill there into the nether. I then managed to get the drone controller connection going again so that I could fly the drone back here to bring it down. Still the phone is not connecting to the controller with this weird Wi-Fi connection. So guys, Phantom 3 drone, what do you think? Hey, we're so used to our good aero drone. All right, there was a bit of a bust up, so drone is down, phone is connected once more, so let's bring it up and see if we can fly more than 50 meters this time. I just fly it along the beach and check if it gets further away than 50 meters or not, otherwise we have to restart the whole thing again. Yep, no problem. Second time starting. I haven't changed anything, any setting or anything second time, and it just flies normal. That is so annoying with this drone. I've forgotten about that too. At least this time the GPS is working. The only good thing about the drone is it flies really fast. It's got some real good speed on it. 250 meter, Haitian, close the bail arm quickly. 300 meter, yep. We dropped the bait. Cloth pack is working fine this time. And we're at 344 meters and I'm getting a weak controller signal already. Well, one good thing about this drone is that it flies really fast. It definitely flies faster than the Aero drone. It's got some real good speed on it when you crank it all the way forward. Because the Aero drone and most modern drones, they have like a normal mode, a sport mode and a filming mode. And in those non-sport modes, they fly a little bit slower, easier to maneuver. But this one's only got the full speed mode, only one mode, and it is really fast. So the flying with this full speed mode is actually quite fun if you're in control of the drone, if it doesn't sort of lose its connection and goes completely out of control. It looks like we got a good rig on now. Hopefully it's not on that hook that broke off and is like on the very weak line now, because it seems to be a good size, swimming towards us. No fight at all, just fast swimming towards us. What is going on? Still on. We got ourselves a very good sized rig shark here. Lemonfish or spotted dogfish, gummy shark. He's hooked actually pretty good in the corner of its mouth. Good for release, but we're gonna keep this one because they're really good eating. Paddle crab is the best bait for them.
oh. So cute.
Definitely hooked pretty good. And the hook just broke off. Well, this is what we came for. This beach is a good beach for catching those rig and also elephant fish at times. Beautiful size for a rig shark, great eating. If they're too big, they're not that good, but this is just the perfect one. Look at the beautiful spots here they got on their back always. Those spotted dogfish, lots of small dogs like stars. We're just gonna dispatch him.
This is what they little shrimps. crabs. Crabs. Shrimps.
Well, everybody, the Phantom has done the job again. It has caught us dinner. It wasn't quite easy. We had a lot of hiccups there this time, but we got the job done. We got a nice rig in the fridge now, and that's what it's all about. Now, I don't think I'll be using the Phantom 3 again in a hurry. It is a bit of a hassle, and it is also frustrating when things go wrong all the time with this drone. Why would I if I have the Aero Pro drone sitting there and that just works, you know, on the first try. So, but for this video was to check if it's still working in 2025, and I confirm it does. It is a bit like driving an old sports car, you know, like an old manual car without any technology in it, and going fast with it. So this drone is very fast. So that is the only plus point I find with it. It's very fast. So it can be fun to fly when you're always at the edge of losing control a little bit, you know, compared to driving a modern automatic car with all the bells and whistles, which is more like the Aero Pro drone in that case, or even a DJI Mini or any of the modern drones. They have so many safety features built in, so it is much easier to fly them, and most of the things go automatic. But I don't know if I would want to keep this drone just for that little bit of extra fun, because I can switch the other drones to sport mode and have the same amount of fun as well. Anyway, that's about it, guys. Do you still use your Phantom 3 drone? Let me know in the comments. Do you also have these issues? This is pretty frustrating, right? Okay, well, see you in the next video, everybody. We're gonna enjoy our rig. Not now. What are we having now? We're having Asian is cooking. Asian is cooking an apple crumble for dinner. Great. Rig tomorrow then.